So thank you so much for coming on the
My
program.
joy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Grateful to God for the Lord's Day. I enjoy Sunday.
Amen.
And we have wonderful worship today. And Wilmington Chester Mass and the late Reverend Ernie Davis, they were celebrating 36 years. And so I was sharing with them. I had to pray over them.
Amen.
Prayed over them, waved my hand, and ran out the door.
You know, Bishop Gibson is such a great guy. I met him at the August Quarterly Committee meeting, Shauna, and just connected right away. And I was so glad that he reached out to me because, you know, he knows Bishop Morton.
Okay.
Bishop Morton was at Bishop Gibson's church last Sunday.
So tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, the book is The Game of Life, 90 by 45. 90 by 45 are the dimensions of a basketball court. So I wrote about how you live life in the confines of the boundaries that have been allotted.
Yes.
So that in turn, every life is a 90 by 45.
That's a beautiful.
In order for you to be successful in life, you have to stay in the boundaries and the parameters that have been designated for your life. Inside the confines of your 90 by 45, there are what I call timelines. So it takes 5 seconds to get the ball in. You go from your territory to the enemy's territory in 10 seconds. There's what is called as a dead man's space between the hash mark and the top of the key that demands progressive movement. There's a 16-foot line called the block or the square. You can't stay in it more than 3 seconds, and you have to put up a shot in 24 seconds. The whole idea is that when you don't pay attention to the timing and your timelines, you miss your turn in life. And too often we waste too much time not moving in a forward progression, and we lose the opportunity of success and also the opportunity to progress in life. And then too many of us have too many voices that are the volume that is outside our 90 by 45. These voices are trying to give you instruction, information to dictate your decision. And what we do is we don't put the demarcations in the sand to let people know if you cross this line, you're trespassing. And we lend our ear to the wrong people who give us wrong information. We make bad choices, bad decisions. We mess up our lives because we listen to people that are not even part of our game.
And the other thing I learned from the book is you can't score from the bench.
You can't score for the bench.
You gotta get in the game.
Gotta get in the game. Yes, sir.
Gotta get in the
Yeah,
game.
your bench is outside your 90 by 45.
That's
they're not
right.
They could cheer, but they're not participants in the game.
That's right.
So what led you to write the book in that style?
Well, what I wanted to do is give metaphors and allegories of depiction of life. My life has been a life of basketball.
Yeah.
I've been in sports since 12 years old. So I've been a prodigy. Sonny Hill came to my house and literally took me from my mother, asked of me, and I was in his care since I was 12 years old. So he steered me through life. I had great men around me, something that we lack these days, mighty men models.
True.
And patterns to follow behind.
Yeah.
And so I played for the late, great Vince Miller at Frankfurt High School. When I left Frankfurt High School, I was an All-American, had something like 250 scholarships. You know here, Earl the Pearl Monroe,
Yep.
and you know here Theodore Blunt,
That's
Ted
right.
Blunt. They were my mentors.
Yes.
And so I wanted to go to a black college because I have never been out south before. In that time, during the 70s, there was a gentleman by the name of John Wooten, who was the Wizard of the West at UCLA. But this guy by the name of Clarence Big House Gaines was the Wizard of the South in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I went to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and came along with 6 other All-Americans, but I knew why I came to school. I got my education, and I graduated on time. And then I got drafted in the 4th round by the Philadelphia 76ers.
And you played there how long?
I was there for the year.
Okay.
And what happened was there are 32 teams in the league now.
Yeah.
In the 70s, there were 16 teams. I got drafted in the 4th round with 16 teams. If I was in this season, 32 teams. I'd have been the first
First
round
round.
draft.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so I had it going on pretty good. You know, the guys taught me well, and I patterned my game kind of after Earl. He was just such a great inspiration.
I tell you, Shauna, this book here is so compelling, you know, and myself having a love affair with basketball my
Yeah.
entire life, I could definitely eat it up. I understand that your first love was baseball.
It was baseball, yes, sir.
Isn't that something?
I had a great passion. You know, it's the
Wow.
world's favorite pastime.
Yes.
So
yes.
my father, early on, bought me a 8mm film projector, and the great picture of that particular era was this left-handed guy by the name of Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
And because I was left-handed and liked his style, I patterned my game after him. And so I played all through junior high and high school. Matter of fact, the old Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, which is now the Deliverance Evangelistic Church, the last championship that we won was in that stadium.
That's wonderful. Doctor, where can we find your book?
You can find the book at www.georgegibson.org. That's my website. All of my social media stuff is Dr. George Gibson. Anyone can look at Amazon.com. Also has my books, and I'll be looking very shortly to have my books being in Barnes and Nobles.
Awesome.
Doctor, thank you so much for coming.